Have you heard the saying work smart, not hard? Well, the same applies to video editing. That's why in this video, I'll show you my 9-step long-form checklist that lets me edit videos that used to take me 10 hours in just a third of the time. Speed is one of, if not the most important things in video editing. So if you're able to finish 3 videos in the time span of 1, that means you can take on more client work, and it also means more numbers in your bank account. I will also mention that at the end of this video, I'll give you my free checklist that you can use alongside while editing, and it will save you countless hours. So with that being said, let's not waste any more time and get straight into it. For the checklist point number 1, you'll be sorting out your project. This means creating a new project folder and dragging in all the files that you'll be using. This will be your footage, your audio files, and any other document that you've been provided with. So I'll create a new Premiere project file and drag in all the files like this. Then I'll just drag them on the timeline, add the audio to the footage, and that's it for now. Next up, we'll be moving on to the second checklist point. Here we'll be cutting out the pauses and the mistakes in the footage. I have a pro tip for you. If you or your client is working after a script, most likely the last take that they do for each sentence or each part of the video is going to be the actual correct one. So knowing this, you can start cutting out the footage from the end instead of the beginning. This way you only have to hear the last correct take and you can instantly move on over to the previous sentence or part. And for this task, I like to use the Premiere Pro text-based editing, which lets me see the whole transcribe of the video, and I can just select the sentences that I want to keep and delete the rest. But in case you or your client doesn't have a script to work after, you can just start from the beginning, since what is being said throughout the whole video isn't going to have much structure, so this method isn't going to be effective. Once I cut out the useless parts, I like to add an adjustment layer and just do a quick color grade. Now once this is done, you can nest the whole sequence or just render it out as a video. For the checklist point number 3, you're going to be adding assets such as vectors, screen recordings, screenshots, stock footage, overlays, images, and etc. For this task, I just go through the whole footage and hear what is being said, and then I imagine what type of animations or edits I could add on top of the video. In this video, I will be revealing the 3 main pillars. Then I find the correct assets from the internet or from my files and just drag it on the top layer, and then I do this task throughout the whole video. Now let's move on over to the point number 4, which is going to be dynamic link. You can skip this point if you don't use After Effects, but basically I just select the whole footage and the assets that I've gathered, I right click on them and just convert them to an After Effects composition. This will let me do all of the edits inside of After Effects, but as I said before, if you're using a different software, you can skip this point. And then for point number 5, you're going to be creating the main animation that is going to be used throughout the whole video. For example, the numbered list that you see on this video, or the pillar animation that I'm making right here. Basically what I do, instead of creating each part separately, I just create it into one big animation and then place out the small clips throughout the whole entire video. This will save you a lot of time. And now moving to the 6th point of the checklist, you will be animating the rest of the assets inside the composition, adding the captions, creating pop-up cards, creating the zoom in and zoom outs, and just everything else that you will see on screen. This will be the most time consuming task, since you have to go through the whole video and animate or edit each asset that you've added. Now once you've gone through your whole video and added the edits, you can export your video in After Effects. For the next point, which is point number 7, I will be adding the music and the sound effects. A great feature that I like on Premiere Pro is the Essential Sounds panel. This lets you quickly and efficiently manipulate the sound effects to your liking. You can add reverb, muffle sounds, and do anything else with it. Now once you have the music and the sound effects completed, we can move on over to the 8th checklist point, which is going to be just exporting the video. Once we have the render done, we have the last checklist point, and that is going to be doing a quick quality check. Make sure to go through the whole video and check for any spelling mistakes in the captions, any mistakes in the animations, any sudden cuts, or other mistakes that you might have left in on accident. If you find any, just re-render the small part with the mistake in it and place it on top of the footage. This way you don't have to re-render the whole video, which may take a long time. And once you're satisfied with the video, it's done. Now you can deliver your perfect video to your client or upload it to social media. If you would like to get my personal checklist with more detailed descriptions on each of these points that I've just mentioned, you can check the first link in the description. It's free. And if you would like to see how I edit this exact video from start to finish, which is also my previous YouTube video that I posted, I have just released a masterclass inside of videoeditors.io. In there, I have a lesson for each of these checklist points that I've just mentioned and more. I've also released a project file for it, so you can check it out in the description. As for the end of this video, I want to thank you for watching all the way through. The last video got insane feedback, so I hope you like this one just as much. You can like and subscribe if you did, and I'll see you in the next video.